What's up, everybody? It's Gomlet, and welcome back to another Ravnica Legion's traditional draft. This one is a live stream, so it's going to be a little weird. I'm going to be talking to Magic Man because he is the reason that this draft is happening, thanks to this traditional draft entry from him. But let's hop right in with a ticket entry here. There's a Blood Crypt. I am tempted to take that for standard. And then let's see the other cards, because I don't really know the set at all yet. Clamor Shaman. Whenever it attacks, target creature an opponent controls can't block this turn. That seems pretty good in an aggressive deck. Goblin Gathering. Do I want to just first pick Goblin Gathering and try again? I am such an idiot when it comes to like every format of Magic. I always want to do the stupidest things. I don't think I should first pick Goblin Gathering, but playing the deck with just a million Goblin Gatherings seems super fun. So yeah, this pack is... it's alright. I think Mortify is probably the best card, but it's a two-colored card. Blood Crypt is the best one to have in your collection. And then other than that, there's some decent cards. Chillbringer, I've heard Chillbringer's really good. This guy I've seen be really good. So it's like a great removal spell, a decent removal spell, or... here's another decent removal spell, or a good creature. Actually, these might even classify as great creatures, these three here. Not sure. So it's kind of just like, what do I want to do here? I am really tempted to just take the Blood Crypt. It's kind of depressing how tempted I am to just take Blood Crypt. So that no matter what, I get something good. Ugh. This is one of those choices that makes or breaks a man. This is like the miniature version of do I take the super expensive card or the good card. Because Blood Crypt isn't even that expensive, but like, it's Magic Arena, so none of the cards are worth anything technically, but then I can play black-red decks. Oh boy. I am going to take the Blood Crypt. Alright, shut up. No one pay attention to that. You saw nothing. Hey, we just got rewarded, you know? Just grab a Bedeck Bedazzle, I guess. And then it looks like we drafted that on purpose. This actually doesn't seem that great. 2 mana instant, kills something with 3 or less toughness. You can destroy a non-basic land. Actually does not seem that impressive. The 1-drop seems good, and Blade Juggler I think is really good. And then Chillbringer's really good. This one's a rare though, so you don't get very many options to play with it, so I might as well Bedeck Bedazzle. I like Carnival and Carnage a lot, because I like Carnage. Carnage is super good. Lightning is just a very good card, even if it costs 1 more mana than it used to. There's also a Blade Juggler, but hopefully I can get those later. Picking up the Carnage. Here we have a Rafter Demon, which is whatever. Gravelhide Goblin, which is very not impressive. I am not a fan of things with 1 toughness. Crocodile, which is big and fat. Carrion Imp, I guess, maybe? Carrion Imp might be okay. I just randomly got a text. Okay. Carrion Imp is probably okay. Undercity's Embrace, I'm not so sure about the quality of that card in a set with Afterlife and other tokens like Goblin Gathering. I'm just going to take the Imp. Ill-Gotten Inheritance. I don't know if this card's overdrafted so far, but I've seen it played a lot. It seems pretty cool. At the same time, Burning Tree Vandal I think is quite good. So it's definitely between these two, which is pretty obvious because they're the 2 cards that are matching the colors we've been drafting so far. But I think that they're both probably pretty good. But I'll take the Vandal. I like the Rebel Belt Recluse a lot. I probably like him too much. He's just gigantic for his mana cost, even though like he has the drawback of having to attack each combat if able, which is really bad if you're at a low life total and you need him to block or die. And it's also bad if they somehow have something bigger, but I have to assume that if they have something bigger that you can't get rid of with a removal spell, he's already, like, you're already just gonna die anyways. So I'm just gonna take that guy. Here we have the Goblin Gathering. Did this wheel? Is this that? No, this is pick 7, which means that the other Goblin Gathering hasn't wheeled yet. So if I take this Goblin Gathering, we could get another Goblin Gathering in pack 9. Or pick 9. So I could like actually be trying to do it, because the only thing I'm missing out on here is a Acrobat, and I don't think that card's like super exciting. It hasn't done very much every time I've played it. I think it just trades off with anything that costs 2 mana or more, so I'm just going to take the Goblin Gathering. At the same time, Goblin Gathering hasn't been exciting either. So here's Goblin Gathering, and we might wheel a third. And we wheeled the third! We're doing it! Oh! Pack 1, we have 3 Goblin Gatherings? This is my life. Oh my god. Okay, so now anytime we see a Goblin Gathering, we're just slamming that immediately over any card. Because I think once you have 3+, that's when it starts actually getting really good to just start picking them over everything. I'm so happy right now, it is unreasonable. So I can take the Guild Gate if I end up wanting to splash a random green card. Or I could take a Drill Bit. I kind of like Drill Bit here. And the reason is because there's a lot of things that just hose X1s, so I want to be able to Drill Bit my opponent in case they have like a Dagger Caster or something like that. Because I'm really not a fan of the Lockets at all, so it's just between Drill Bit and Guild Gate, so I'll just take Drill Bit. We might not even end up playing it, but we might not even end up playing the Guild Gate either. So Rakdos Guild Gate will definitely play, and other than that, it's the 3/1 Lifelink Vampire or the 2/3 Reach. I like the 2/3 Reach better. But even then, I don't like it that much. So it might just be the Guild Gate here. Guess we have a 2/3 Flyer already, so we don't really need a 2/3 Reach. I'm gonna take the Guild Gate, so we have just pretty good mana. I guess I'd take the Rafter Demon. I guess I have no 2 mana cards yet, which is pretty bad. But the Goblin seems really loose if you don't have green. Just 1 toughness is very low. So Demon or Goblin? Demon or Goblin? I think I'll take the Goblin, because I literally have nothing that costs 2 mana right now. I don't think I want to end up playing either of them. Now I have the Guild Gate, so if I do end up having to play the 2/1, I can just throw the Guild Gate in there and maybe be okay. I'll take the Burn Bright. It is possible I end up playing it if I get like 6+ Goblin Gatherings. Doubt that'll happen, but maybe. So no Goblin Gathering in this pack, which is unfortunate. There's some good cards that aren't in our strategy at all. Like, Absorb seems probably good. Bellhaunt is good. Gate Colossus is good. Ooh, we just, like, lose to Gate Colossus. Can't block it with all our Goblin tokens. So, I think it's between Light Up the Stage and Burning Tree Vandal. I don't know how good Light Up the Stage is. When I first saw this card, I didn't know that you could cast those until the end of your next turn. It's not the end of the turn you cast it, it's till the end of your next turn. So that's actually pretty good. Might actually be the pick here, but I do think that Burning Tree Vandal is quite good. But I will take the Light Up the Stage just to at least try it one time here. I'm going to put this Bedeck at 2 mana, because I doubt I'm ever casting Bedazzle. Like, I guess the only time that I'm casting Bedazzle is if they're at 2 life and have a Guild Gate out. Because other than that, I don't really care about blowing up a Guild Gate. So there's a Rakdos Roustabout, which is pretty good. But that's the only other Rakdos card in here, and I'm not super concerned about getting it if I have a whole bunch of 3-drops known as Goblin Gathering. So I'm taking Goblin Gathering. Cavalcade of Calamity seems like a really high pick for this deck, but if it weren't against bots, this card should be like a last pick, because the only deck that ever wants it is if you're drafting a million Goblin Gatherings. So the bold play, and probably the correct play, is to just assume that this wields, but that this wheels, but I don't want to assume that the bots are good at drafting. So I might just take that. Smeltward Ignis actually seems pretty good. So it's like, it's a 2-mana 2/1 that you can just randomly, from that point on in the game, you basically just have an active treason if you need it. So I like that guy a lot. So I think if the Cavalcade weren't here, I'd definitely pick the Smeltward Ignis. And I might still pick it, because I do have a Burn Bright that's kind of like a Cavalcade. This really, really should wheel. I'm going to be very sad if a bot takes this, because this is not the kind of card that anyone should ever be picking, unless you have the Goblin Gathering deck, which is like 1 out of every 1,000 drafts, I assume. So I'm going to take the Smelt Ward, assume the bots are smart and that they won't pick Cavalcade, and see if I wheel it there. So Rhythm of the Wild is really cool. It's intensely good. It's another one of those cards that the bots don't draft correctly. This is basically a rare or a mythic rare. Rhythm of the Wild, it's like, at worst, all of your creatures can't be countered, and they all get +1/+1. That's insane for 3 mana. That's just a better Glorious Anthem. Which Glorious Anthem was a rare that you would draft that card. That card was fine. But, like, at best, this also gives you the option of just giving your creatures haste if they need it. So I think that card is very, very good, but it does not do anything to token creatures, so it doesn't do anything with Goblin Gathering, so I think I'm just going to take Get the Point. Because I do want some more removal, and this also keeps us in just Rakdos. So there's a Roustabout, or there's an Ill-Gotten Inheritance, or there's another Recluse. The argument against the Roustabout is that it's another 3-mana card, which I have a bunch of, and I'm trying to actively get more of if I ever see another Goblin Gathering. There's also a Guildgate. I could make my mana just really good. I already have 2 fixers, and the mana base isn't that hard. Yeah, I have nothing that costs double of a single color. The only thing that costs double mana in this deck so far is Bedeck, which costs double hybrid mana, which means I can always cast that if I have 2 lands out, so the mana base is completely fine right now, so it's between Roustabout, Inheritance, and Recluse. I don't think this is, like, probably an Ill-Gotten Inheritance kind of deck. This seems like... Well, I guess it can... It does get to just, like, Lava Axe your opponent on turn 6, so that's pretty cool. Recluse is cool as well. Let me actually move this card to where it's going to be cast, which is turn 4. I will Carnage them. These will be cast on turn 5. Yeah, this should be here, not at 1 mana. This is a hard pick. I'm also just not good at... I'm not good at choosing, so I feel like the time limit on a Magic Online drafts and drafts in real life helps me a lot, because then I just end up deciding something. Whenever I play a draft on Magic Arena, since there's no time limit, I always just sit here forever. You wonder how the Petitioners will work on Arena? Once you have collected 4 copies of the Petitioners, you then have infinite copies, so you can put however many you need in your deck. Now, it's not like that in Draft. In Draft, it's like regular, where you can play any copy that you drafted, but for Constructed, as soon as you have 4 copies, you have infinite copies. So you could just, like, spend 4 common wild cards, and bam, you have a deck. If you want to play that silly deck. I think I'm gonna take the Inheritance. There's another Cavalcade of Calamity. Alright, well, we're doing it. There's also Smelt Ward, but how likely is this one to wheel? If the bots are smart, this'll wheel. Because you just... Who on earth is going to have enough 1-power creatures that they're running this deck? Other than me, with my Goblin Boys. Pick 6. Wow, you drafted way faster than me. I always take forever in between some choices. Pick 6, which means this will be like one of the last 1 or 2 cards in here, so this is less likely to wheel. I already have 1 Smelt Ward. Oh boy. I'm gonna take the Smelt Ward anyway. We're going deep and really hoping that it wheels. I guess I'll light up the stage again. Gates ablaze. That's pretty good against little goblin boys. Don't like that. There's a Spear Spewer. Consign to the Pit, I guess. Is probably just what I'm taking. Guildgate or Vandal. The Vandal Wield, that's super nice. I'll take that. Roustabout or Guildgate, take the Roustabout. Here's where the Cavalcade would wheel, and it did wheel, so that is going right into this deck. These bots draft very incorrectly. This is probably the very best Gruul card you can possibly get. And they've just sent it to me pick 12. So, like, all your creatures can't be countered, and they all get +1/+1. It's just better Glorious Anthem. Active Treason is more likely to get played in this deck, but I already have 21 cards, and I'm probably not throwing an Active Treason in here, so I'll take Rhythm of the Wild, and maybe end up playing it. So there's 3 cards I actually want here, so Rakdos has been successfully cut by me, which is nice. So I can actually just, like, choose here. I have so many 3-mana cards. So I'd probably just prefer the Recluse over the Roustabout. And I don't want the Guildgate because I already got 2 black-red sources and my mana base isn't that bad. Taking another Cavalcade. And here we go. There's a Goblin Gathering. There is a Thrash and Threat. That seems pretty good. There's a Scorchmark. Seems pretty good. Alright, so this is where things get really silly. This is where things get really silly. I said I was drafting the deck, and I'm drafting the deck. Look at all these good cards. You see these good cards? No. I take the Goblin Gathering. That is the correct pick. And don't you tell me otherwise. Cinder Vines, that's pretty cool. But I am firmly Rakdos, so I will take the Scorchmark. Just play a 50-card deck? Jesus, Magic Man. This is a card we never want to see. Hopefully just never play against that. I think I'll actually take the Footline Fiend here. It combos with the Cavalcades and it's a 1-drop. Combos with Spectacle stuff as well. Really hope to see another Goblin Gathering here, then we're really doing it. I guess we take another Burn Bright and maybe just go all in on that. Oh, there's no more Goblin Gathering. So there's Blade Juggler, which is very nice, but it's also 3 mana, and our 3 mana spot is like super cluttered. But Blade Juggler's probably still worth it. I'm just gonna be silly here and just stick with the combo, just take more 1-power guys for our Cavalcade. Daggercaster, that's another card I never want to see. I don't think I'm taking a 3rd Burn Bright here. I have 2 more chances to get a Goblin Gathering, and I would really like at least 1 more. I think that this guy actually just combos really well with having a million 1/1s as well. So I'll take him. No, come on. 1 more Goblin Gathering chance. 1 more chance. Please be here. I guess I take this. Probably don't end up playing it. No, sad day. Alright, so we got 5 copies of the Goblin Gathering, and that is what we ended up with. Our deck is like chock full of playables, though, so I'm going to have to whittle this down, which is going to be real difficult for me. So I'll take a Maca. Scorchmark. Guildgate? Guildgate? Or do I take another Maca this time? I think maybe we just go really low curve with this deck. I think we go really low. So Maca or Guildgate? I really don't think we need another Guildgate, but like, just make this mana perfect. If I'm not going to end up running the Maca anyway, then there's no reason not to have another Guildgate. So let's actually like just start building this deck and see if I will end up playing that. So let's see, 1, 2. Probably not playing this guy. Definitely playing these 2, playing those 2, playing that, playing that. maybe not running the drill bit. I still like it to help the Goblin Gathering survive. Like Carnival Carnage, because I can also just use it on one to stop a blocker if they have a 1 toughness blocker. Ilgod Inheritance seems a little slow for this deck. Same with the Recluses, I guess, and the Consign. Just go really low to the curve. Guess we just start taking out, like, Roustabouts now. It's probably bad to make this curve this low. I don't actually think I'm running a Maka in here. So I will just take the Guildgate. Probably think about this deck again when I get to building and see what I really, really want to do. I like Stormstrike in here. Can get rid of a 2 toughness creature with one of our random goblins. We got the Burn Bright, so I could go triple Burn Bright and really be all in. Alright. So that's 8, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is a 23 card deck. Let's put all our lands in for sure before we do anything. This mana base is very good. If I ever don't have the right mana, then the Shuffler is a real dick. Okay, so I want to put the Burn Brights in here. Like, if we just go all in, just silly style, and just not even have like a late game or like a an answer to anything really. We just go hyper aggro and just hope it just gets them. This deck looks really stupid in like a bad and good way. God, I do like putting more Burn Brights in here, but I just don't know what to take out. Does it take out a Maka that I just put in for another Burn Bright? I like the Vandal a lot. It lets us draw towards the Goblin Gathering. Light Up the Stage might not even be great in here. Actually, I think Light Up the Stage is probably the best when your deck is this insanely low curved. 2 Burn Brights is probably okay. I probably just run it like this, because I think these are both just going to be better than it. Probably. Most likely. Yep, this is just a bunch of small cards and a bunch of ways to get rid of their small cards. So the second they get anything big, this deck kind of just stops. But if they don't, we just try to pile drive right over. This isn't really a steamroller deck. This is like a bunch of tiny cards. What would that be? Death by 1,000 Needles or whatever? Million 1-drops the deck. Or million 3-drops the deck. Let me actually check this again. So look at this curve. This curve is really bad. As exciting as Burn Bright is, like our 3-drop spot is really cluttered. I guess there's like no way that we can't cast Light Up the Stage. So that's not actually a 3-mana card, that's a 1-mana card. So 1, 2, let's put this at 4 because that's most likely. 1, 2, 3, 4 at 1 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at 2 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So it goes 4, 7, 9, and then it just drops off the cliff. It's probably still alright, yeah. Alright, Magic Man, you want to do the countdown so we both click play at the same time? Or should I do the countdown? I can't just say the countdown out loud because then you'll end up clicking play like 10 seconds after me because of stream delay. Alright, at 1. Alright, I waited a tiny bit after the 1 just to give you time to click after sending that. Let's see. Look, we both clicked about the same time. That was the 7-second wait there. Oh, man. See, this is the thing I was saying where it like pairs you against similarly like leveled players as well. So like we might not even get matched. We didn't get matched. It's lame. I would like to play first. Oh, this hand's not good. Remember when I said my mana base was like perfect? I guess I forgot to check the basic land counts. The auto land suggestions are so bad. I've drawn like really roughly weighted hands towards a certain color many times. But I also have never like went in and actually changed my basics to what they should be, so I think that the auto basic land calculator is just awful. That's what's most likely happening. Alright, so we cavalcade. Now this guy's like a 2-1. Which is pretty cute. We kill whatever they play. And hope to just start drawing mono goblin gatherings. And get there. Ooh, that's nice. It's only got 1 toughness. It's gonna be real easy to kill. Got the Burn Bright. I mean, so they just dropped 3 swamps into a Viscopa Vampire, so they're likely to have some kind of afterlife cards, but I feel like a lot of those have more than 2 toughness anyway. So I think I'd rather keep the Bedeck, maybe? This might bite me in the ass. They might just play an afterlife creature that I want to exile instead of giving -3, but we'll see. Hopefully they don't. Dude, Burn Bright is a sick combo with even with Cavalcade, because you attack with them all after the Cavalcade triggers, then you can pump them all. Alright, I probably should have bedecked that guy instead so I can exile their afterlife card that they'll play now that they have a plains. Like, I could Burn Bright here for just 2 damage, but just really did not want to draw Burn Brights right now. I have a bunch of cards that would be better to draw. Basically, literally anything else. Goblin Gathering would be, like, the best. Yep, there is the Afterlife guy. A Scorch Mark, and I'll just get another mountain, not even a swamp. These are some pretty bad draws. I think I do just turn that into a blue guy. Are you kidding me? Why didn't their Afterlife trigger happen yet? Why isn't their trigger even on the stack? There it is. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the order the triggers goes in. Well, that sucks. But I don't get to put them to 12. There's an Exaltation to pump those guys. Well, don't think things are going to go that great. I can have a really explosive turn next turn, if they let me. So if they attack to where they only have 1 blocker, I hope they attack... I guess they're only going to attack with 1 because of the Exaltation, I guess. So that kind of sucks. But I can kill the Watchdog in their end phase. And then if I draw a mountain, I can double Burn Bright. And maybe just get them. But I doubt it. So you're going to block one of these. Alright, goodbye, Watchdog. There is my black source, finally. Let's go for it. See if they block it all here. Wouldn't be surprised if they didn't, just to get more Exaltation out there. No blocks. Alright, Burn Bright. Are they going to use a removal on a 1-1? They're going to use a removal on a 1-1. Feels good, man. That's pretty good. Gather some more goblins, but I think I'm just dead next turn. Whenever creature you control attacks, gets +X/+X for X the number of creatures you control. Okay. So that's 3 right now, so I get to attack with the Thrall for 6. That is if they don't have another creature in their hand. If they do, they get to attack for 7. If I destroy the Thrall, then I don't have enough mana to frickin' Goblin Gathering, which means I just die next turn anyway. Because if I destroy the Thrall, then I'm taking 3, and then followed by 3 or 4. So I have to just really hope that they don't have another creature. That way I can just get them with Goblin Gathering next turn. That's like my only hope. I mean, I could also just attack with this. I hope they block. No blocks. Okay. They need to not have another creature this turn. Alright, they had the creature, and it damages me. So that sucked. That was a really rough start. Probably should have mulliganed. Is there anything I really don't like against this deck? I like the Scorch Mark, I like the guys that ping for 1, I like the guys that steal a dude. I like this deck. I think I just run it back. I like to play first. Oh boy. I'm gonna keep that. This is a really rough hand, but hopefully I Footline Fiend into light up the stage into land, and then this hand's just insane. Carnival Carnage is not a bad pickup here. So you can kill things like that. I think I actually just kill that with Carnival and light up the stage. I might just attack with the Fiend first, they might just want to trade. They don't trade. Okay. This way I can light up the stage first and see if there's different cards I want to play instead of the Carnival. Goblin Gathering and a Guild Gate. Yes, I'm going to play the Guild Gate, that way I can for sure play that Goblin Gathering next turn. As nice as it would be to kill that Caracal. Want to get that Goblin Gathering value. And I'll have a bunch of goblins to block that thing, so I don't have to worry about a 1 toughness creature at all here. Looks like I just drew a land anyway, so it would have been better to play anything else. So a little sad, but that's okay. I have 2 more Goblin Gatherings. We're really doing it this game. We're really doing it this game. Until they play something that does like 1 to all my creatures, like the true hypocrite they are with their afterlife shit. And I just want a Goblin Gathering? I've got the Cavalcade now, so like, let's just really go at it. Does that guy have Vigilance? No, it does not. Second I draw a Burn Bright, this game's like over. There's an Oligarch. That dude is certainly going to get Scorch Marked. Alright, I'm actually going to just get that Caracal. Let's just clear the field to just go insane here. Because now I get to Scorch Mark and Gathering. Or I could Cavalcade. I'm just gonna gather. It's like if they don't have a thing right now, then let's go, dude. Look at this field! Here comes their -2/-2 to everybody. Listen. I drafted every copy of Goblin Gathering that I saw, both times I've drafted so far. Oh, they're dead! They're dead on board! Double Cavalcade? Holy shit! Oh my god, we're just gonna do 18 to him? Dude, we're gonna do 18 before combat damage. Oh, they scooped before they saw the second one. That was retarded. That was going to be like a 27 damage turn, if you counted the combat damage. And the guy dying and doing a damage. Alright, well, you know, I like this deck. Now is when they sideboard in a -2/-2 to everybody, think if they have it, but... So, like, maybe now's the time to ring in a drill bit, but I didn't see anything like that in either of these games, that I feel like that's the kind of card they probably would have just already had in there, instead of in the sideboard. So let's just go at this again. I'm probably going to lose this match, but that game was worth it. This draft was worth it, because that game happened. If I get like one game like that in each draft, then this deck is super worth it. I don't give a shit. Alright. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. Just need a land. There's a watchdog. Probably gonna give that +3/-3. There's a land. I like this hand. Gather some goblins. Alright. So I could just drop that guy out. I am not going to do that. I'm going to let them play their turn out. Just in case they play something better than the Watchdog for me to kill. I doubt it. Nope. Alright. Say goodbye to the Watchdog. Are they going to use a pump spell on it? Nope. Blood Crypt. I think I just saved that for next turn. Here's a goblin. So the thing about Goblin Gathering is, like, even if they... Oh my god. Even if they get away to kill all my goblins, the Goblin Gathering is still buffing the rest of my Goblin Gatherings. Do I attack here? I probably should have just played the Vandal, give it haste, and then attacked. And that's the plan. Yeah. That was kind of a bad play. I'm actually going to pay 2 life here, just to go crazy. Play out a Fiend, play out 3 more Goblins. Next turn, do a Giant Burbright. If they Wrath this turn, that's pretty sad, but I get to do 1 to something. Okay, that's not a Wrath. Oh, I have to discard a card for that thing? That's pretty lame. I'll just discard not a Goblin Gathering. Would have been nice to be able to discard that land instead. No attacks yet. Next turn is the turn. So, if they -2/-2 me now, then this was a good match. Alright. Nope, they play a bunch of blockers, but I don't think it's enough. All of my creatures do at least 3 damage. They have 4 blockers. I have 10 creatures, so 6 of them get in for 3 damage apiece. They're not dead yet, but they are dead next turn. There we go. And I think I just Carnival their 3/4. Yeah, they're pretty dead next turn. Oh, I guess I actually... Oh, the Footlight Fiend did not die. So that's a little rough there, but that's okay. Alright, no cards in hand. If they've got the Wrath, I'm tremendously dead. But if they do not, they need to play 2 more blockers this turn. There's 1 blocker. So I believe they're still dead. I guess they only take 3 and they just don't block the Fiend. So they're not actually dead yet. Oh wait, no, I have 6 creatures. I'm an idiot. Oh my god, we did it! We gathered our goblins. We gathered our goblins, and it won. This is a happy day. Hey, Magic Man, is your match done yet? And did you win? Because if your match is done and you won, then I can click at the same time as you and try to get into a game again. Again, it might not happen just because... I need to change the picture on this. Can I edit the deck? Yeah, I can. Oh, you lost? Sad day. This is Goblin Gathering, the deck. Well, I mean, you can try win next round. Maybe I'll lose this round and you'll win next round, and then and then we'll get matched up. I really enjoy this deck. This is stupid. Both of the times I won, it's because I had like 9 1/1s out. Goblin Gathering is fun. Man, now I'm just gonna force Goblin Gathering, which might work on... Oh god, yes, this is the hand. Which might work on Arena, because you're just drafting against bots, but I feel like in paper, Goblin Gathering looks so fun that I feel like there's going to be other idiots like me forcing Goblin Gathering. Like, I'm going to draft weekend this Saturday at Gatekeeper, and if I see some Goblin Gatherings, you know what this boy's doing. Alright, so opponent had to mulligan down to 6. They drop a forest, so they're probably a Gruul deck. That is triple Goblin Gathering after a turn 2 Cavalcade. So this is a good hand. Unless they also just start playing Goblin Gatherings. And things are somewhat sad. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goblins. I really like Scorch Marking that guy, but I also really like just playing a Goblin Gathering every turn, so I probably don't Scorch Mark till turn 5. Make one of their lands a 4/4 and just get in there with a 4/4 this turn. Seems like this is basically all the gas they have. I think I'm fine just racing this. Like this turn, worst case scenario, I just have a million creatures to block with. Like I have Trumpers. They are just going to play a Dagger Caster and ruin my day. It's gonna happen. But if not, this deck is sick. See, this is the problem. As cool as this deck is, because they put so much stuff in here to hose Afterlife, I don't think that this deck's actually, like, ever competitively good. Because, like, your opponent can just have, like, Daggercaster and shit. Okay, so they can make their land a dude at blocking time. So, Scorchmark does not actually stop a blocker here, so I'm just gonna swing in. We're gonna Scorchmark a goblin? I like putting my opponent on the ropes. You destroyed my second opponent? Alright, if I lose this round, then we can play again. I don't know if I will, though. I'm off to a great start. They're using removal spells on my 1/1s because they're so dead. Look at this deck, dude. This deck is incredible. I'm so happy right now. This deck is like the happiest and saddest deck at the same time. I guess I should have Scorchmarked their guy after they Scorchmarked my guy, because then they didn't have the mana to actually make another blocker that turn. But that's okay, I'll just Scorch it at like the end of their turn. They're incredibly dead. Yeah, they just scooped. Goblins. Goblin gathering. Gobble gobble. I'm just gonna hop right back in. Opponent is probably sideboarding in dagger casters and stuff, and it's gonna be a sad time. That is the problem with this deck. There's like one card in every color that they could just cast, and I just lose immediately. So, if they drafted those cards, it's gonna be a sad, sad day. But if not, like, what are they gonna do about this? It is also possible that I draw poorly. I drew very poorly in the very first game of the first round. So yeah, that's the other thing about this deck, is you have to draw the right cards at the right time, which, you know, I have 5 Goblin Gatherings, so it's pretty likely, and 2 Cavalcades, but game 1, round 1, I drew, like, both of my Burn Brights without, like, any creatures, and it was just bad. Like, this deck does have potential for drawing cards at the completely wrong time and just getting hosed for it, so just hope that that does not happen. And then the obvious thing that you hope for is that they don't dagger caster you or cry of contrition you or whatever. Just get rid of all your goblins for 1 card. Waiting on your opponent. Your opponent is choosing which player will play first. Cool. That's a keeper. Turn 1, Footlight Fiend. Turn 2, Light Up the Stage. Turn 3, probably cast a 3-drop off of Light Up the Stage. This hand seems great. I have a Bedeck to get rid of one of their early blockers. I like this. I also have a Blood Crypt, so my mana's basically perfect. Now I've got a Burn Bright, so really hoping to hit another Goblin Gathering off the Light Up the Stage. I guess exactly what we're hoping to hit is 1 Goblin Gathering, because if I hit 2, that's going to be really sad, because one of them will stay in exile and just doesn't get to do anything. Alright, and let's light it up. I guess I shouldn't have played my land, that way I could play a land off this if I needed to. Okay, so it's 2 2-drops, Scorchmark. So if they play any dude, I'm just going to Scorchmark. And if not, since I only have the single Goblin Gathering right now, I might just not even play that yet. Can't be blocked by creature tokens. They probably sideboarded that dude in. I kind of want to Bedeck him, but if I don't cast one of these cards, I just lose them forever. So I'm going to swing the Fiend in. If they block, obviously that's getting Scorchmarked. They don't block, I'm playing an Ignis. Okay, we will play an Ignis. Since I don't have any 1-mana cards, I'm going to play my Blood Crypt. Now, tap. Alright, this is pretty nice. The Ignis gets to get rid of 1 blocker on whatever turn I'm trying to do a crazy Burn Bright. Whatever. I wonder if the runners were in their deck or if they sideboarded it. Either way is kind of funny. Alright, so the Scorchmark is gone, but I do have a Bedeck Bedazzle to kill one of those. I do like this Light Up the Stage here. Might just swing in with the Fiend. I think I'm just going to swing in with the Fiend and light the stage up. Just draw some more cards. I'm not going to Burn Bright for a 1-for-1. I guess it would have been a 2-for-1 on myself, so yeah, definitely not doing that. Burning Tree Vandal. Well, obviously I'm going to play the land from that and the Vandal. Give it a counter. And now I've got a boy that's big enough to trade with those, which I'm very happy about. I've also got the combo now where I'm just going to try to start drawing into Goblin Gatherings. I want to get value off this guy, so if I'm going to end up trading with a runner, I'll do it on my turn, off an attack. I don't want to end up doing that. See, now I might just have to end up doing that. Because I could bedeck one of their guys, but then there's still a blocker for him. Oh man. They are just making a giant field here. Alright, so I've got another Smelt Ward. So here... I think I just gather some goblins for blockers. Then those can double block their Vandal. I think I'm just on the defensive here. Now, I might want to swing with my Vandal and discard this Ignis. That's probably the least effective card on this board. Or I guess Burn Bright. Maybe even just Cavalcade, and I just try to go with the Burn Bright plan instead. I kind of do just like leaving the Vandal back to block, though. So let's play some Goblins. Could save Bedeck instead of an Ignis. Does Ignis do very much on this board? Because everything's 3 toughness. So I guess I can block a 3/3... I can block their Goblin with a 2/1 and a 1/1. I can block their Runner with a 3/2, and then I can block their Vandal with an Ignis. I guess I do just drop an Ignis. For Bloxies. Gruul Spellbreaker. That's a 4/4, so that's pretty good. Not bedeck that. Should I send in a runner? We'll go ahead and just trade off. Unfortunately. Really hoping for not a land there. So, I guess I Cavalcade, and then I just pass. And I can just use this Burn Bright to make my blocks really good, but it's really rough to be on the defensive here. Okay. I want to Burn Bright here. I think I actually do just want to Burn Bright here, which is really sad to use it this way, but I'll go ahead and do that. I cannot just, like, guarantee that I'll be drawing Goblin Gatherings from now on, see, because I'll just draw nothing. I think I kill their 3/3 now, because all of their stuff has hexproof during their turn. Oh wait, no, only the Spellbreaker, okay. Well yeah, then I just save the deck. Would like to draw actual cards. That would be awesome. So like this turn I probably have to trade Bedeck for the Goblin and trade the Ignis for the Brush Strider and hope that they are just top decking like me, except that I start drawing non-lands instead of them drawing non-lands. Okay, let's do this. I don't know, it might have been better to block the 4/4 with the 1/1 And Bedeck, well no I can't because it's just got hexproof, so I'm never in a position to be able to spend a Bedeck and a token on that. Vindictive Vampire, that would have been nice earlier. A lot of my creatures have died. I've got one Goblin Gathering in the grave, so a Goblin Gathering will make 3 goblins now. Yeah, it happens, man. It's not great. Yeah, that's not a good draw. I think this deck really needs to just curve out fast, and if it doesn't, then nothing really happens. I mean, if I just... Technically, things could still happen. Like, if I drew a Goblin Gathering every turn from now on, that would be great. I also have removal spells that just say destroy target creature. Those would be great. So it's not like this is, like... unplayably bad. It's just not a good turn of events here. Oh, they have hexproof. Solana Wayfinder. Clan Guildmage. Well, opponent is drawing better than I am. And I think that means this is game. Yep, that is another land. Well, that was a game. Let's get into game 3 and hopefully draw less lands this time. Alright. I do think I still like 17 lands in here, because I have had multiple games where, like, I've had, like, double Burn Bright and wanted to cast both in one turn. Maybe I do just take out a land, though. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 red sources. I guess I'll take one of those out. And throw in just a dude. That might be okay. Recluse would have been pretty good against them. It would, like, at least trade with one of their things. Yeah, I guess I'll just toss in a Recluse over a land. And now, since I did that, this is going to be the game where I draw 0 lands. Like, you've destroyed your deck. You've ruined the ratio. No, this is a good hand. Need to draw 1 land, and then we are set for life. It's exactly the kind of hand I want. Hello. It's not as though we've already played 2 games. Maybe they helloed me at the start of both the other games and I just didn't even notice. They've just been sitting here forever alone waiting for a response. I like that. I like them grabbing a guild gate and hopefully just not playing anything on turn 2. Alright, now I really need to draw a land, but if I draw a land, this hand is nearly unbeatable. Unless they have Daggercaster. Oh, let's go! Let's go! This is the deck. This is how real Magic is played. Alright, Magic Man. It's never for certain, but I don't think I'll lose this game. Oh, look! I can't block with these. Oh, no. I can't block? I really wanted to block this game. I'm gonna put you to 12. Next turn, that's 5 damage. Next turn, that's 9 damage unless they play another creature. 5 damage when I declare the attacks, and 4 more from the things that don't get blocked. Not to mention, I will have 4 more goblins out for next turn. for like the turn after that. So they got to dagger cast me. It's ogre. Okay, that's actually not terrible for opponents. It is another blocker, but you know, easy baked deck. Just declare attacks every turn. They are still dead next turn, but now it's the next turn instead of this turn. Alright, don't dagger cast me. Alright, we did it. We got 2 matches down. What a fucking cheating hand. Sir, I fought for these Goblin Gatherings. I've got 5 in here. We made it to gyms, which means I get to play another traditional draft after this. Because now I have 1,800 gyms at the least. You should have seen my first draft. I got so excited when I saw Goblin Gathering that I drafted every copy that I saw, and I ended up with 2 copies. It was really sad. They were just literally like wasted picks in the draft, so my deck ended up just being really bad. Because I also picked up some Cavalcades, so I earned this. Yeah, last time I just played like regular Rakdos, and it didn't go super well. This time we're on Gathering Rakdos, and I like it a lot. At the same time, I have not been Wrathed yet. I think the second I get Wrathed, I will immediately just hate this deck. I'll no longer be the happy man anymore. They'll play a Dagger Caster, and I'll be like, alright, this deck sucks. Never draft this. This is garbage. They just played 1 card and got rid of all my goblins. This hand's pretty sick. Especially if I get another land. I get to turn 3 Goblin Gathering, and then I get to drop a Vindictive Vampire, which isn't quite as strong as Cavalcade, but it's pretty strong. Because when I've got 1,000,000 1/1s, they'll probably be dying all the time. Oh yeah, I'm killing that thing. Get that shit out of here. Don't do that. Don't play blockers yet. That was not the time for blockers. That was the time for goblins. I might just play my other Goblin Gathering before I drop the Vindictive Vampire. It depends on what they play here. If they play like a really good blocker, awesome! They didn't even play a blocker. Definitely casting Goblin Gathering first. I guess the argument against that would be if they play a land here, then next turn they could play a land and then save up a counterspell for the Vampire. Okay, now there's almost no argument to playing Vindictive Vampire, because now I even have a Guild Gate, so that I make use of all my mana that turn. Alright. What you got, opponent? It's gotta be pretty good. I don't have a Cavalcade, but if I draw a Cavalcade or a Burn Bright, then I think they're dead on board. They're not actually dead on board to Cavalcade, but they are very dead to Burn Bright. If I Burn Bright, I have 18 damage on this board. I don't see them not playing a creature right now, though. Yep, there's a creature. So it's a 3/4. That's completely fine. I think I just cast my dude and still just get in there. Next turn I have enough mana to play the Ingus and activate its ability if they played a small enough creature. Alright. I think we win this game. They do get to start whittling away at the creatures now, but I don't think it'll be fast enough to stop all this excess damage it's getting around. Alright, they're at 8. All of these creatures are, no matter what, doing 1 damage to them. Even if they die, they do a damage thanks to the Vampire. So they're essentially going to be at 2 next turn. And I just have to have enough creatures that I can get around for 2 more damage the turn after that, which I think is very likely. So they drop the Senate Griffin. They block 2 of them. I get to keep many creatures. I actually just get to steal their Senate Griffin and kill them right now. That's pretty sick. Never mind. We're just gonna do that. GG! This is when I find out that Fog is in the format and I just lose. No, there's no 1-mana Fog. So, they got destroyed. That was nice. I think I just run it back. I did draw a lot of lands, and I didn't need that many. I guess I only needed 5 lands that game and I would have won. But it's not like intensely too many lands, so I don't know if I should be like, this does seem like a 16 land deck if there was ever a 16 land deck. But what do I toss in here against this guy? 3rd Burn Bright? A Rebel Recluse? I don't really think I've seen enough of this deck to know what I want really as my 24th card. Guess I could just throw like a Storm Strike in there or something. Just a Maka. Just a Neuter. None of these cards are like intensely exciting, so I think it's okay to just keep a land in. Could play Ill-Gotten Inheritance, but again, that seems pretty slow. Could Drill Bit in case they have counters. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I should probably only be playing 16 lands, but I'm just gonna keep it like it is because I can't decide and I don't want to sit here forever not doing anything. However, opponent could be heavily sideboarding right now, so maybe I probably should have taken my time and just decided what to throw in, because it looks like my opponent is taking their time deciding what on earth they're going to do against all these goblins. They seem to be Simic, which I think is probably a really good matchup for Goblin Gathering decks, because red decks have Dagger Caster to get rid of all the goblins, black decks have Cry of Contrition to get rid of all the goblins, white decks have like Wrath effects. I guess they're at rare, but they do have them. I think this hand's fine. I can Vandal away some lands. I don't really want to mulligan, even though it might be best to. But yeah, green-blue, it's like they have counter spells. That's their main plan, is counter spells, and also all of their guys have like 1,000,000 toughness. So I need to make sure that I can make enough dudes to get around that. So they might have like sided in Open the Gates and Gruul Guild Gate and Daggercast or something. Nope, they are just Open the Gates and get into a Simic Guild Gate. That makes me happy. I like this hand a lot better now. I drew 2 relevant cards instead of 2 more lands. That was definitely the risk with this hand, is if I drew 2 more lands, then this hand was really bad. It did start with 5 lands, and I'm still at 5 lands, so it is going well so far. Hopefully they don't play anything that blocks Burning Tree Vandal well. That blocks Burning Tree Vandal well. Alright. So they're on a mill plan? Maybe they sided those in because they're 1/3s that they can play on turn 2 against the onslaught of 1/1s. That sounds fair enough. So I'm going to play the Vandal and we're going to put a counter on it. Because otherwise it just gets blocked by the petitioners. Next turn, I think depends on what they play. If they play a creature that's going to trade for the Vandal, I'll just drop the Vampire first. If not, then I think I'll attack first just to see what I draw and maybe play that instead. So hopefully they play like a Senate Griffin here and they want to trade it for the Vandal. I would like that. Ooh, Axebane Beast, I do not like that. That is too much toughness for the Burning Tree Vandal to deal with. Oh, do we just gather some goblins? Gather some goblins, next turn we play Vampire and Fiend. Guess I can use Burn Bright this turn and then my creatures just trade for theirs. But at the same time, if I'm about to have some goblins and a Footlight Fiend out, then I could go for like a big Burn Bright next turn. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually. I'll just go for a big Burn Bright. Just a massive attack next turn. That hopefully clears off their board a bit as well. And I can also just drop the Vampire if I want next turn instead. Probably just gonna Burn Bright, but we'll see here. I do really like attacking next turn as well with just everything, that way I can get the Vandal trigger off. Discard this Guild Gate to draw something relevant. I mean, odds are we'll probably just draw another land, but could draw something relevant. Alright, so they have 2 blue up, so that also just makes me want to Burn Bright. I got the Cavalcade now, though. But I don't have the mana to do both. Yeah, so they have 2 blue up, which I think is most likely that they'll have that one that costs 2 blue to counter a creature spell. So I like the Burn Bright plan here more than the Vindictive Vampire plan. But I think Negate might be in this set. I'm not sure. I really don't know the set well enough. That was a pretty good draw. I can be Deck and Cavalcade this turn. Thing is, will I? I guess it really depends how they block here, what I do. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so they're going to block the Ignis. So I could Bedeck that, and then my Ignis will survive and that will die. That will just kill the Petitioners. Ooh. What is... Okay, so they're going to throw that there. Throw that there. So if I Burn Bright, I get to do 9 to them, and I kill both their creatures, but I lose both my creatures as well. If I Bedeck, I get to keep the Vandal, and I still keep all my 1-drops, I just lose the Ignis. Yeah, Burn Bright, I lose both mine, but they lose both mine. Or both theirs, and they take some damage. I think I'm going to Bedeck here. This also is better against Counterspell, because I think I'd rather have Burn Bright actually resolve later. So if they want to counter this, then that's fine. But it's not great. It's definitely not great, but I can deal with that. Oh wait, I completely got confused. This still trades both my guys, but that's okay. This at least gets rid of the 3/4 body, and lets me get the Cavalcade out, plus Vindictive Vampire next turn, so all my stuff does double. That was a big punt on my part. I just kept using Bedeck literally just for the -3 part, that I forgot that the first part is +3. Oh, they're just gonna bounce my Vandal? Okay. Alright, well, here's a Cavalcade. This card is really good. There are a lot of very, very good cards in the set. Applied Biomancy is very, very good, and then the Gruul Sorcery is very good. Just a lot of sick combat tricks in the set. 8-Wing Spy. I mean, their field is scary. I'll give them that. They only have 1 mana up, so I don't have to worry about counter spells anymore this turn. They do not even attack, they are spooked. Alright, so I have a Scorch Mark. That's pretty good. So adapt for 6 mana, they have 5 mana now, so they can probably adapt that next turn and just have a big flying threat that they'll try to race me with. So I think I just drop the Vampire here and send in the Fiend, because that guarantees some damage on them, and I can get rid of their Savant, just make their field smaller. So yeah, that'll be 2 damage to them and 1 to the Savant if I attack with it. But I might just want to save it. Just go crazy on Burn Bright. Like, next turn, if I draw a land, then I probably Burn Bright, Scorch Mark. I guess no attacks here. Burn Bright just really makes you want to have as many creatures on board as possible when you cast the Burn Bright, so it makes earlier trades and stuff more bad. Alright, nice. So they played a tapped land, so they can't even trigger their spy yet. They gotta wait one more turn. I like my opponent waiting. And I think I actually do like them just activating it and swinging in with it. That would be really nice. Now I have double Scorch Mark, so I could just kill it when they try to activate it. No, I think I'm still just going to set up a really big Burn Bright. We'll play the Vandal now, see if they counter it. No counter. Alright. They do not counter it. Alright, next turn is the big attack. Hopefully drawing a land, that way I can Burn Bright and Scorch Mark. Lost. So you got 1 win, 2 losses, Magic Man? What'd you draft? Oh, they're gonna make my Vandal tiny? Okay. Little annoyed, TBH. Did you lose to Rhythm of the Wild? Because that is pretty annoying. Probably not as annoying as losing to this deck. Losing to Goblin Gathering is probably, like, super annoying. No fucking way! I'm just gonna lose to a Mythic, never mind. Losing to a Mythic is also probably super annoying. Hey, it has double flying thanks to their spy. The stupid flying demon that pings everyone. You may discard a card. Okay, I'm not going to use that, actually. Let's just go. You played a Hydroid Krasis. I am no longer going to sit here doing nothing. So I get to Burn Bright and I get to Scorch Mark to make sure if the Hydroid Krasis blocks, it is dead. If the Skatewing Spy blocks, it is dead. If they don't block it, they are dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, if they don't block, they're dead. I think no matter what happens here, I can turn it into a very good swing on my side thanks to this hand of instants. Okay, so if I Burn Bright, then we trade the Beast for the Vampire. We trade the Goblins for those creatures. We trade... I guess we just trade Goblin for the flying one then, if they're going to do that. Burn Bright no longer just trades for that, fortunately. We still Burn Bright because it makes all of these die. Well, it makes this die and this die. They would not have died otherwise. Opponent takes 3 more damage here, plus all of the damage from the Vampire. So they take a lot. They've got 1 mana up. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to make me mill 1? That's actually good for me. So they could mill a Goblin Gathering. Oh, Cavalcade? Dang. That was a good mill for them. I was like, they could mill a Goblin Gathering and then I could draw a Goblin Gathering. Okay, so I'm going to let this resolve, and then I will see what I want to Scorch Mark. Which I think is just the Skatewing Spy, because everything else is dead. Yeah. Yep, let's drain them. And get rid of the Spy. Alright, we need to draw something. If I draw Goblin Gathering, that is straight up gas. I think actually, yeah, them milling the Cavalcade did help. If I just drew Cavalcade here, I'm definitely dead. Oh, fuck. That's a Gate Colossus. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Smelt Ward Ignis. Don't think that you help me at all right now. I basically just die in 2 turns, because Gate Colossus is insane. Alright. They're not even sending in the Gate Colossus? What are they doing? Because they just want to have as many blockers as possible just in case something crazy happens? It is nice to have my deck be so respected by my opponent. Light up the stage. Well... Yeah, I guess I triggered off the Footlight Fiend. If I get a Goblin Gathering, they might actually be dead. Because they're down to 7 thanks to the Fiend. So if they don't kill me next turn... They just no-block it because they thought I have the thing that gives Death Touch? Alright, they're definitely dead if I get a Goblin Gathering. What's that? They have no cards in hand. Goblin Gathering! Oh boy, they are probably dead. They're probably dead. Okay, they're not definitely dead. I was wrong on that front. So they go down to 3 when I declare the attack. And then I have 5 attackers. They'll have 3 blockers. They have to draw something here. I'm gonna kill that. That way they don't get to draw their second copy if they have a second copy. And they also just don't have a 4/4 out. Alright. So if I attack with everyone next turn, they go to 3, and then they can block the 2/1 and 2/1/1s, and they take 2 more. Okay, so I guess they go to 1 if they don't play anything. So I do still need another card, and that is if they have nothing here. If I attack with everyone, they crack back for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But if I attack with everyone, they go to 1. God dang it. Yeah, they go to 1, but then they just get to kill me on the swing back. So yeah, if I attack, they go down to 3 when I declare, they block my 2/1 with their 8/8, and they block a 1/1 with their 4/4 and a 1/1 with their 4/2. I then have 2 creatures left. So I think I just attack with the 1 power guys. That way I can still block the 4/2 next turn and survive. And that way they are still dead next turn. Let's see, I would lose 3 of these creatures, so I probably get to keep the Footlight Fiend. But I do 1 more to them, and then I have... So yeah, they take 4 now, they go to 3 life. They take 1 from not blocking, and they go to 2 life. Then, next turn I get to attack with the Fiend and use its death trigger to kill them. Or just its combat trigger. So yeah, this would kill them next turn if they don't have anything. Which is what I need, for them to not have anything. Because I don't have anything. Okay, so they go to 1, which means the Footlight Fiend alone kills them, no matter how they block next turn. So they have to kill me this turn, or kill my Footlight Fiend. Or gain some life. That would be the saddest if they just gain a little bit of life here. Then it's like, well, that happened. Oh, they can give their Steeple Creeper flying. I forgot that the Steeple Creeper actually has an ability. Alright, well I was dead no matter what this turn then. Let's see if they remember that. I don't see how they wouldn't remember that, but we'll see. Yep. So I did forget that ability, but I didn't play poorly because of it. Because I would still have just lost if I just kept everyone back to block. Because literally the only creature I could have possibly blocked was the Steeple Creeper if it didn't have that ability. Alright. So yeah, because the alternative there was I would have sent in the 2-1 as well, which would not have done an extra damage when it attacked, so they would have just blocked my 2-1 with their 8-8, all my creatures would be tapped, and they'd be at 1 life instead of 2 life. Which would be slightly cooler, but I would still have lost. So, I mean, they have a Hydroid Krasis and a Gate Colossus. There's not a lot we can do about that. Those are just absolutely gigantic. And they gain life. I guess we can Drill Bit one of them. Toss in a Drill Bit instead of a Mountain. Alright. We can Drill Bit a Hydroid Krasis. We can't really Drill Bit a Gate Colossus very well, but we can still Drill Bit the Gate Colossus, because then if they want to draw it, they have to skip one of their draw steps. Alright, play first. This is a keep. We're going to try our best. Nothing to play on turn 1, so I'll just play Blood Crypt tapped. Opponent mulls. Played a random and played Rel, plussing him into a Niz or Nicole. Like Nicole Bolas. Alright. Blood Crypt. Opening the gates, I like to see that. I like to see the slow starts. They just grab an island. Okay. Maybe their hand is just full of gates. They still want to play things. Alright, so Ignis. Next turn I'm just going to cast Goblin Gathering, and if I draw another land, I get to Goblin Gathering and light up the stage on the same turn. Play a 2-2. I'll just swing into that. Cavalcade's okay here. Right. I could light up and Cavalcade, but I just like playing the goblins first. This is a little bit of erased if they activate that. That's going to be a 4-4. And if they have any other Growth Chamber Guardians, then that's very bad, but the odds of that are very low. So hopefully they don't. Alright, see you in a bit, Magic Man. Thank you for the well wishes. You can 4 me to the face if you want. I believe I'll win this race. They're just gonna do 2. Okay. Maybe they just wanted me to double block like a fool. Like an absolute fool. Let's just gather some goblins, right? Yeah, just gather some goblins. So that's 15 damage of goblins out if I Burn Bright. Lands would actually be sick here. Unfortunately. That way I could Cavalcade and Burn Bright on the same turn. But I think I just Cavalcade next turn and light up the stage. Hopefully they swing in. Do they have another Growth Chamber Guardian? Are they living the dream? I mean, to be fair enough, I'm kind of living the dream. Just on a different deck plan. Alright. Rectos Guildgate. That enters tapped. So that's sad. If I attack with everybody, I kill their petitioners and lose a dude, and they take 4 times 3, they take 12? Could also just Cavalcade and they take 5 for sure. Then I light the stage to try and play more cards next turn. If I just do 12 to them now, then I think a Cavalcade next turn will just kill them. I mean, it doesn't quite kill them, but let's just send in, we'll burn now. And we'll Cavalcade and light up the stage next turn, I think. Depending on how they block, maybe they block in a really weird way and I just want to light up the stage instead. Alright, this is a good block. To make sure that their Growth Guardian survives a Burn Bright. Alright, so that's 12. They are down to 6. I've got 4 dudes, which means on the declare attacks next turn they take 4 and go to 2 life. Which means they have to kill more than 2 of my creatures next turn to survive. Unless they have Hydroid Crazes, which would be really sad to just lose to the Mythic twice in a row. Alright, you have to kill more than 2 of my guys to live. And currently they can only kill 2. Especially if they attacked and they're super dead. Okay, so here's the... Maybe I just play that? No, I'm going to play the Cavalcade, then I get to light up the stage and play a Fiend. If they counter this, I'm not in a great spot, but I still get to put them to 4 and light up the stage and play a Fiend, which is not a terrible spot. We also haven't seen a counterspell this whole time, so I was not really playing around one. But this timer makes me suspicious. Return one of my dudes to my hand before I can declare an attack. Okay, I think I do still attack with everybody. Then I only have 1 left, though, but they go to 3, I have 1 of them left. Next turn I attack with the Fiend and the 1/1, and they take 2 off of the attack trigger, which puts them at 1 life, and then the Fiend just kills them. So yeah, I still attack with everyone, and then they are dead next turn. Unless they gain life, they are dead next turn. They're actually, like, insanely dead next turn. Unless they gain life. Ooh, that's a Goblin Gathering. That's gonna be sick when I actually have the mana for it. Alright, they're dead on board to my attack trigger. I don't even have to let the Floodlight Fiend die to kill them. But if they Hydroid Crazes, sad days. But I think I could accept just losing to the Mythic twice in a row. I could accept losing for that reason. If there's ever a reason to lose, Gigantic Bomb Rares is a pretty good reason. You don't have to feel insanely bad about your playing ability and your deck if you just lose to bomb cards. They gonna swing here? Maybe they're like, I can only win. What could they possibly have here? They have the 6 mana thing that puts 3 counters on it, then doubles the counters on it, so then it would have 5 counters on it. So then it would have 10 counters on it, so it would do 12 damage to me? That's still not lethal. They have a Naturalize? give the Fiend -4/-0. So, okay, you're still dead on board. So, I mean... Cute. Still die before blocks. Do they have a pump spell? Probably should have played the Vandal there, but it just felt really safe since I have this Goblin Gathering that I'll just have a million blockers next turn. I guess it probably would have been right to play the Vandal just in case they somehow survive, but here's the triggers on the stack. Alright. Whew! 3 rounds in. 3 match wins, I think. Could be wrong. What do we get? Volley Veteran. Hey, that's good with Goblin Gathering. Alright, yeah. That is 3 wins. Broke even. 1,500 gems. That would be if I paid gems. Instead, I just paid with the ticket entry, thanks to Magic Man. 3K. Alright. We got 2 more rounds no matter what happens. Because I can win or lose 2 more times, and then this will be over. I'm happy with the record I've got. Anytime I get at least 3 wins, I'm super happy. Because I get the 1,500 gems to just play again. So, I would like to get 5 wins. That would be awesome, especially considering we're playing Goblin Gathering. But, I'll deal with whatever happens here. Just drop out the Blood Crypt. See, and now the Blood Crypt, pick one, pack one Blood Crypt, didn't even look that bad. This card has been putting in work. We got a Floodlight Fiend. That's pretty awkward. I can take out 2 of my goblins. Maybe I should have just Carnivaled that during my turn so I could light up the stage. I actually probably should have done that. If they're going to Spectacle something, they get to Spectacle it no matter what I do here. Oh, they did nothing. Okay. I have another Goblin Gathering. Okay, so I'm going to Goblin Gathering, then I'll Carnage them next turn. They probably don't attack now. Okay, they do attack. That's fine with me. Rouse to boot. Okay, this is a weird game because I'm not just like gathering aggressively like I would normally do. Maybe I actually do just save the Carnage for later. Yeah, I guess I can send them with both to light up the stage, see what we get here instead. Alright, what do we got? Floodlight Fiend and a Mountain. Well, kind of like just playing the Fiend next turn. They want to swing in and stay aggressive, that's fine. I don't have any of the win conditions right now. I don't have the Cavalcade or the Trumpet Blast kind of thing. So I'm not in a really good spot to race, but I do think I still want to. Okay, so they're going to trade their Fiend for a Goblin. It's fine. So I gotta make sure to play this Mountain instead of any lands from my hand. Because if I don't, then it will be gone forever. They scribe both to the top. That makes me not very confident about my chances this game. Especially because I just drew another land. Alright. Footlight Fiend is here. Could Carnage them or toss out an Ignis. I think I just toss out the Ignis. I really like saving Carnage until they have like only like 3 cards in hand. They probably play a land and a card this turn. We're just gonna go for it. No blocks. I'm fine racing back at you, if you let me. They Dagger Caster on the scoop. Alright, Acrobat. Gains Death Touch until end of turn, or it's +2, -2 until end of turn. Okay, that's a 2/3 boy. Alright, my turn. Not a good draw at all. Not a good draw at all. Let's Carnage them. don't want to keep them. Jesus. Those were some good cards. Yeah. Really needed a Cavalcade or a Trumpet Blast type thing here. I think we just don't attack still. Yeah. This game is not going so well. At least it's not going as well as the others did. The Rakdos Mirror, ironically, is seeming to be the hardest to win. Just because they also have cards just as fast as me. But it is worth noting that they drew 4 lands and a bunch of non-land cards, and I drew 8 lands? I drew twice as many lands as them, so that's tremendously bad. I think it's just fair to lose this game. When one player gets to play twice as many cards, it's pretty good. So like that goblin block looked really bad because it looked like a 3-for-1, but I got all those goblins from 1 copy of Goblin Gathering, so it was still a 1-for-1. I just traded a copy of Goblin Gathering for a copy of +1 and First Strike. And that's a land. Well, that was a sick game. Alright. We are siding out a land and throwing in... What is good against a Rakdos Mirror? I don't think we just throw in Drill Bit this time. Oops. Did we put in our own Storm Strike for the mirror? Did we put in another Burn Bright? Maybe a Recluse, because it was bigger than a lot of their stuff? We did really need a Burn Bright there, so it's possible it is correct to just have 3 Burn Brights in this deck. I do like the Storm Strike. They have a lot of early drops that I could literally just, like, trade a Storm Strike for off of a Goblin. So I guess I'll just put in my own Storm Strike. I'm gonna play first, for sure, with this deck. This hand has so much potential, but I have to mulligan that. This hand has less potential, but I think we just deal with that. Definitely putting a land on bottom if I scry a land. Get to the point. Also think I just want that on bottom. That is a really hard pick there, but I think I just want gas, and that's not gas, it's just defensive. Lands are not gas either. Ores of Enforcer. 1/2 Death Touch, Afterlife 1. That is tremendously good against this deck. Let's see if we can draw a Scorch Mark. Or just not a land. I wonder if we will draw more non-lands than lands in this match. Currently we're at like 90% lands drawn for this whole match. 92%. Well, this is not good. I want to just bedeck the Roustabout. Yeah, do it. Don't want to lose any goblins here for no reason. They're worth more than preventing 1 damage to me. My god. We've drawn... I think if you actually did the math, I think we have drawn like 95% lands off the top this match. Get in there, spectacle your thing. That's not even spectacle. Okay. There's the Scorch Mark. I mean, it's in time to kill that thing, which is cute. Yeah, that thing's insane. I'm just gonna get that out of here. This is kind of sad. I keep wanting to keep these goblins so that I can do something with Burn Bright, but might just be right to double block that Enforcer at some point. I'm not going to do it yet though, because now I can double block the Recluse and Burn Bright to get rid of it, because I don't know if I have any other way to deal with that. There's another Goblin Gathering. 5 goblins now. Can we play a Dagger Caster? Well, that was pretty sick BMs from the opponent. But this deck does not win to Dagger Caster, so even if I drew a decent amount of lands to non-lands in that match, probably just gonna lose from Dagger Caster happening. Opponent did not have to oops me when I played X1s, though. As if I had any other choice in this deck. Well, let's see how the next match goes. Hopefully we do not play against a Dagger Caster. Alright. Oh, God. Oh my god, I need a creature. This is this is a really stupid keep that I shouldn't do, but I'm gonna keep it. Even if I don't get a creature, I can light up the stage on turn 3, hopefully. Going strong, I see. Yep, 3 wins, 1 loss. Opponent had the Dagger Caster, which just clears out all the goblins, so rest in spaghetti. But we're 3 wins in, which means we got 1,500 gems at minimum, which means that's like an entry fee for another one, which is sick. I'm going to play the Swamp first, so that it's possible that I play this Blood Crypt tapped at some point. I'm probably going to end up just paying 2 life to play a Goblin Gathering next turn. Opponent is on Gruul, at least. They've played a Gruul Locket. Dagger Caster is quite good. It is just unbeatable against this deck. Most decks, it's just pretty good. Here's my goblins. Watch, I'm going to get Dagger Castered again, just immediately. This hand is very, very good if I get to do 1 damage to them this turn, though. Frenzied Erings. I'll make that a 4/4. Alright, so I think I'm just going to light the stage up and go crazy. So yep, we're going to do 3 damage to our opponent at the price of 1 goblin. Rest in peace, goblin friend. I could also Burn Bright if I really wanted to get 2 more damage in there, but that just seems bad. Light up the stage. Let's go. What do we got? Another Cavalcade and a Burn Bright. All my goblins do 3 damage now. I really need another goblin maker. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a 4 mana 5/5? Oh, it's a 5 mana. Oh, yeah, they have the Locket. Opponent's just going to play really big creatures. I could use a Get the Point to kill that so I can get through. I really, really, really just need to draw another Goblin Gathering, so I'm just going to attack to get the Spectacle trigger off. Really hope to get a Goblin Gathering off this exile. So I could Burn Bright, but it's pointless. Alright. Light up the stage. Goblin Gathering. Let's go. Bedazzle. That does actually nothing right now. That's pretty awkward. well, we get to say goodbye to Birthright. We drew 4 extra cards this game, and we're still probably going to lose to these gigantic creatures. Literally 1 copy of Goblin Gathering is insanely good here, though. But all their creatures also have trample. Now they just get to make my 1 creature unable to block this turn. Jesus. That's 10 to me. I'm down to 4. That is not a creature of any form. So I can Carnage their Shaman and destroy their Guardian. Then I block the Erranx with the Vampire and take 1. And I just lose Bedeck Bedazzle. Yeah, that is the only way I survive next turn. Why does Vindictive Vampire say creatures you control? They made these cards so bad lately. Blood Artist and the Vampire from Innistrad, they were like the only good versions of this effect. And now they're like, nope, we gotta make it... Oh, Jesus, they're gonna use a pump spell on that? Yeah, I am just dead then. Yeah, because I can only use 1 more removal spell, so I could kill one of their creatures, but then they just make it so my 1 creature can't block and 4 me to the face. Well, that was rough. I think against that deck, I do want to be playing a Rubble Belt Recluse as my 1 extra card here. Because it is a 6/5, so it can actually trade for those gigantic dudes. Again, I am happy with whatever happens now, even if I just lose this round, like, immediately. I made it to 3 wins, which is the important one. That means you get 1,500 gems, which is exactly enough to draft again. This hand is so close to actually being good. I think if this hand had 1 more land, I'd keep it, because then I could Fiend and Bedeck, and then if I draw any land at any point in the game, I just go crazy. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand is more keepable, and I get to keep that land on top. Then if we draw any more lands the rest of this game, we just start looting them with Vandals. Just get them out of here. You don't get the point of unlocking decks for Arena? Yeah, it should really just give you packs, but I think it's just for new players so they don't have to build their own decks if they don't know how. Do I want to haste a Vandal here? I just want to haste the Vandal and just start drawing cards immediately. Because I think... Let me view the battlefield. Next turn, they'll have 3 mana. No, I'll just put the counter on it, because next turn the odds that they have something with more than 3 toughness aren't very high. So probably just trade. Whereas the odds of them having something more than 2 toughness are decently high. There's a lot of 3 mana 3/3s in Gruul. There's the one that can't be blocked by tokens and stuff like that. So yeah, next turn I attack with the Vandal. Okay, they're just going to kill it. Should have given it haste. I still am just on the same plan. This time though I am going to give it haste, because now I have multiple cards I really want to loot away. Looting away the Guild Gate first. Cavalcade is a decent draw. Don't want to play this land or just loot it next turn. Because if I play this land and I would draw another land, then I can Gathering and Cavalcade on the same turn. That's probably the plan. Made it to 4 mana, so they probably have their 4/4, no, just the 2/1. That would have traded for the 3/2 version of the Vandal anyway, so I am happy with that. Got another land, so I can Cavalcade Gathering. But maybe I just Bedeck and Cavalcade and loot the land. The deck doesn't seem like it's going to kill any of their big stuff. Probably just want to get the damage in now. I think I want to just start as aggressively as possible, because the second they play their bigger creatures, I just lose. So I'm going to shoot this, play the land, drop the Gathering, and I'm just not going to loot this turn. Jesus Christ, alright. Well, that ended very poorly. I mean, we still 1-for-1, I guess. That is a Mammoth Spider. And now is the time when I draw the lands, and this tournament is over. They made it to high mana costs and stopped all of my early game plays, so I am confident in saying that there's no way I will win this game, and this tournament is officially over. But I will play it out, so that we can see what kind of massive, gigantic dudes they can with this game. Well, it looks like it's just a bunch of little dudes, but little dudes are stronger than lands. This is true. A Gruul Locket. Have to assume they're probably just going to draw cards with that next turn, because they have pressure on the board. And if they have something giant, they don't really need to play it. Smeltward Ignis was really good in one game, but now I just keep drawing it off the top when I'm needing to block. Yeah, I mean, we play that boy. There's an Ignis. It trades off with one of their littler guys, I guess. But their goblin already trades off with my goblin if they don't pump it. I guess I can block... No, because this guy can't be blocked by tokens, so I can't block him with Ignis and a token, which is awkward. Getting very close to dead. Don't think there's anything I can top deck. Light up the stage is a start. Yeah. If there was ever a thing I could get here. Let's cavalcade them for the guaranteed spectacle. Let's see what we get. No blocks. Very nice. That's a goblin gathering. It's not nothing. Yep. Kill my 2/1. So I just cannot block the 3/3 anymore. So they could just like pump it. Yep. Well, that's a match. Game, set, and match. That was my full traditional draft tournament. I had a lot of fun in the early rounds. We actually got to do crazy things with this deck, so it was totally worth it, even though those last 2 rounds kind of were sad. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Let's go ahead and open these packs, because there's no reason not to. See what we get. Thank you, Magic Man, for the draft entry token thing. Breeding Pool, that is super nice. I need that card for Vanifer deck in Standard. Biometrics Familiar, I don't need that for anything. Yeah, I know, Magic Man, sometimes that shit happens. It sucks. Biogenic Ooze, I need that for my Vanifer deck. These are some sick packs. And Kaya's Wrath. I am not that kind of person. I don't need Wrath of God. Standard. Alright, well, thank you everybody for watching. I will see you later for another Ravnica Allegiance traditional draft.